What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni and Younes is back again here on the channel. Welcome back, Younes.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. Third
To-
time, yeah?
Third time, yeah. Third time, man. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. Hey,
Lovely.
So we're going to be here today discussing the Chelsea versus Aston Villa match preview. And Younes did make a very good point that the press is not even out yet. So I'm just really going to go on one or two facts that we do know, and we're just going to give our opinion ahead of the game. So the couple facts that we do know here is a couple of key players might be doubtful for the game. One of them being Romelu Lukaku. We know that Chelsea are sweating on his fitness because he's had to undergo a scan on his thigh injury before returning to the Blues after international duty. So our new striker there might be in doubt. Then you've also got N'Golo Kante, who left the France squad early last Wednesday as he's had an ankle injury, the same one actually that he got against Liverpool. He didn't really have the opportunity to heal from that. The Thiago Silva situation is an absolute banterous situation with the Brazil. Yeah, the Brazil FA have just basically said, yeah, I'm going to exercise and flex some muscle here. Fuck you, Premier League. You're not playing none of the Brazilian players. That's exactly what they've done. Because isn't it like Alisson, Thiago Silva, Fabinho, Edison,
Gabriel Jesus.
Hey, Man City look like they're in trouble.
And Liverpool. You know what? This might actually work in our favor. I think it's a farce. The whole thing's a joke. Right?
Hey, listen,
realistically, but for us...
listen. I just had a thought at the top of my head. How happy are you that Jorginho declared Italy instead of Brazil now? Yeah, good going, Jorginho. He's gassed
as well, man. I bet he's happy.
You see that foresight, Jorginho. He saw it coming, so there you go. He had to help the Chelsea. So yeah, there's that situation with the whole immigration thing and the Brazil and Argentina. And Thiago's got himself wrapped up in that purely by nationality. A poor guy.
Literally, and without even going.
Yeah, that's it.
He didn't even go.
I know. It's just Brazil FA being petty, man, really. And then we've obviously got Reece James, who got sent off against Liverpool.
Yeah.
He won't be playing that game, I don't think. Well, I don't even think or seen Chelsea try to overturn that decision. So doubt he's going to be available. But you know what? With all that in mind, Younes, how do you feel despite potentially missing those four players?
I'm still confident, man. I'm still confident. I don't know about you, but I feel like there's enough depth in this squad. This is the best depth we've had since, I want to say, when we were really deep in it, 2006 or so, when we could field two teams. If you remember that time, we had two teams that we could literally just put on the pitch and then get a job done. This feels like that, probably more, because we actually have, I'd say, the best depth we've had in years. So I'm not that worried. Although it'd be nice. I want to see Lukaku play. I want to see Kante play. You know, Thiago Silva won't be much of a miss. Let's have it right. Because I don't think he was going to start in the first place.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're well covered. So realistically, I think we will still have a team that's too strong for Aston Villa. Touch wood, because Aston Villa are a top team. However, they're affected by Martinez and Buendia.
That's right.
So, you know, their main top goalkeeper that's been doing justice for them, and one of their signings out. So it's in our favour, especially at the bridge.
I think Emi'S Martinez being a miss for Aston Villa is a much bigger blow than any one of our players going, purely because of the depth. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're right about that. The first concern, obviously, probably being at the forefront of a lot of Chelsea fans' minds as well, our reliable striker might not be eligible for the game. However, we do have some good news depending on how you look at it, because Timo Werner got on the score sheet. And did Kai Havertz also get on the score sheet on the internationals as well? I know why he pulled that face. We're gonna come. we're gonna come to that one. We're gonna come to.
Yeah. Yeah, he scored.
Well, listen, if you haven't already seen it, Timo Werner had an absolute, oh my God, I don't know how he missed it by even trying. I don't know. I just can't explain how he missed that. Literally, I don't know.
Mad. At that level, it's deep. You know, I can understand being in that situation in a football match, 11v11. Sometimes you miss those, but this is a recurring theme. You know, this goes back to last season with this
Yeah.
guy. And it's just constant sitter after sitter after sitter. I don't know. But he scored. Yeah, in the end, he scored. Havertz missed an easy chance as well, but he scored too. So, yeah,
There you
we'll
go.
take it. He got 3 goals in 3, Timo Werner, this international break. So hopefully he forgets that sitter. Leave that in Germany. Leave that in wherever he played. Just don't bring it to Chelsea.
And the thing is, yeah, is I was getting a little gassed with Timo because I saw some like clips in training, like him partnering up with Lukaku for some like extra shooting practice, and he was putting them away. I was like, yeah, maybe this is what he needed, man. He needed a little direction, and then he went and done that. I was just like, Timo, come on, man. But yeah. So obviously, we're probably going to see them both start. Kai Havertz, Timo Werner.
If Lukaku doesn't play.
If Lukaku doesn't play, that's right. But I do agree. I still do think that we've got a bit too much for Aston Villa. We're just going to pull them apart, man. Do you just know, like our intelligent phases of play, just finding them pockets of space and just, you know, with our creators, man, we over the top, play the ball through the ground. It doesn't matter. We're going to find a way in there. We're going to threaten their goal. It's just really about putting opportunities away. Now, that's not to say that Villa, like you said, don't have a dangerous team. Obviously, they've got new signing Leon Bailey, who I rate very, very much. Obviously, like I said, main point, him being new, but if he does start to pick up form anytime soon, that's definitely a danger man to be looking out for. Yeah. Then you've got the Scotsman there in the middle, who I rate quite highly, Mr. McGinn.
McGinn's quality.
Yeah. Very good player, him. You've also got Ollie Watkins. You've got quite a few threats in that squad, and then their new signing, we know the hitman Danny Ings. So
Ings, man,
yeah, we can't really be taking Aston Villa for mugs. But defensively, though, Younes, we just look insane because look, we're coming off the back of a 1-1 with 10 men against Liverpool here, and we defended absolutely stellar. So talk me through the defense, man. Like, who you expecting to see in this lineup at the back?
You know, the one thing about Villa that's in my head is obviously because of last season. And that was towards the end of the season where we did actually lose to them. And, you know, fair enough. Wasn't at the bridge, obviously, but they are a good team. Credit to Villa. They've improved with the money that they got in for Grealish. So we got to take them seriously. But in the meantime, since that fixture up until now, boy, have we gotten better. Like, we have gotten better. You know, we've ended up winning 2 European trophies. We look solid. The chemistry's high. Happiness is high. Tuchel has got his print literally on the team. And the way we're defending is just, as you said, stellar. The Liverpool game said it all for itself. The fact that we were down to 10 men that whole second half and Liverpool could not get through. They just couldn't get through. We were absolutely amazing. So when I look at that, and I hope we see a continuation, and I'm expecting that, to be honest, we should on the day be too strong for Villa. Now, in terms of the defense and the players to pick, you would realistically go for Rudiger at left centre-back, Christensen at centre-back, and right centre-back, probably Azpilicueta. You just stick with those 3 because it's worked. And against Liverpool, that was amazing. So there's that element to it. Whether you decide to rest any of them, you bring in Chalobah, I'll absolutely be happy with that as well because Chalobah's killing it. And I trust him. I think he's versatile. I think he's strong. I think he's quick. I think he gets stuck in. He's a brave lad. He's a young lad. He knows what he's doing. So we got options. But I do think Rudiger, Christensen, Aspi is who we're probably going to go with.
Do you think we're going to be able to cope with that Aston Villa midfield if we don't have Kante? Obviously guessing John McGinn, Louise, and Ramsey. That's the midfield. I can't get my words out. That's the midfield that they filled their last game against Newcastle. Could we see the same again? Do you think we've got enough in our midfield to take care of that? I mean, Douglas Luiz, I think, is a good player. John McGinn, we've already said, is a very good player. Jalen Ramsey's not bad either. So not a terrible midfield on their day.
This is the thing, though, with Aston Villa and teams in that sort of category. You got to respect when it comes to their first choice 11 and players like that, top players, and they're probably going to rely on that. But that's where, you know, Thomas Tuchel, and I'm sure all of us will know this, you know who's going to play. You know how to prepare against them because that is all they have. Now, if any of them get injured or can't play, they go to who they have on the bench or who they go as replacements. They're not going to be as strong as any of their first choice options, especially a McGinn. So this is where I'm looking at this and going, we will be able to suss them out. But will they be able to control us? Because even if we don't have Kante, yeah, we got Jorginho, we got Kovacic, we have Saul now.
You know? Hey, I forgot about him, you know.
You see what I mean? We could go to anyone, and it's a top team. Whereas Aston Villa, they have their first choice, and that is what they have. And that is what separates the men from the boys. Actually, that's not really fair on Aston Villa because they're a top team now. But that separates the good teams from the great teams.
Yeah.
You know, we have that world-class depth. So I'm expecting Saul to play, to be honest. I think Jorginho, you do probably bet on the fact that he might start. Kante depends on if he's fit. If he's fit, you're probably going to see Jorginho, Kante. Maybe Saul come on later on. As I've said before, I don't expect Kovacic and Saul to play together. Saul, I think it's going to be an opportunity for him to give us another goal option, as we spoke about before when he signed. You know, we went through the whole thing of him being able to go forward and shoot from distance. If Aston Villa are going to be a little bit defensive, he's an option, you know, in order to unlock them. So I think Saul might feature. And no one knows what to expect from him. Let's have it right, not even us. So, yeah.
I mean, do you know what? I'd love to see Saul start, but I have a feeling that Tuchel, if Kante's not available, he's going to go with Jorginho and Kovacic, I think. And we might see Saul come on later on in the game. Yeah, because, again, remember, he hasn't been at the club long as well, and it is his first game. I get at some point you've got to throw him in, but I just get the sense that Tuchel will probably go down that direction. And if we do look comfortable into that game, we'll see Saul come into it and perhaps open up the game even more, like we know that he can. And do you know what? It just gave me a completely new dynamic to this conversation because I completely forgot that we signed Saul, you know, reading all these injuries, and I was just like, oh shit. But then we've got the Spanish treasure over here with Mr. Saul. But yeah, man, so that midfield, so would you go with, so hypothetically Kante is not available, so would you be happy to see a midfield of Jorginho, Kovacic, and who would be your third choice? Because if I say that, because if Lukaku is injured, I could see Mace possibly playing on the wing. Because remember, Pulisic also caught an injury as well. We came off for the USA.
Yeah, he did. It depends overall, though, doesn't it? Because let's say hypothetically, even though I think Lukaku will feature, you know, I think he'll come fit.
I hope so.
That's my gut feeling. That's my gut feeling. That's not based on any sort of source or information. But if he's not playing, I think there's a chance we could go Werner, Havertz, Mount. If I'm honest, I think that could be it, and more in the turn of just like how we used them at the end of last season, especially in the Champions League final, the way that we use those three there. You know, where they kind of intertwine amongst each other. It's not necessarily a Mount on a side or Havertz on a side or Werner up top by himself or Werner alongside someone. It's more a case of those three just being able to intertwine amongst each other and rotate. You know, I think we could go with that option. It's also a point to mention about Callum Hudson-Odoi.
That's right. Correct.
If he's going to be used, because if Reece James is missing out, who are we throwing at right wing back? Is it going to be Aspi and then Chalobah in defence, or is it going to be a Hudson-Odoi and his opportunity to try and shine? Maybe. So that's got to be taken into context. Is Ziyech going to be used? He's been training. He didn't go international duty.
I'm forgetting about. Look at me, just forgetting about our squad depth, man.
This is how much depth we have. It's stupid.
It's ridiculous. As soon as you said Ziyech, I was like, another one. How have I forgot about this guy? Yeah. And as for Callum Hudson-Odoi, now I wanted to ask you, because good thing you brought him up as well.
Yeah.
How do you feel about him playing that right wing back position? We all know that his preferred position is to play on the wing. And I'd like to see him obviously play more on the wing, but it seems that Tuchel's trying something with him down that right wing back role. But what do you think?
Personally, I'm content with him being there, man. I'm happy with him being there. I can see what Tuchel's trying to do, and I think we saw that at the early stages of Thomas Tuchel's time at Chelsea, where Hudson-Odoi impressed on that side in that position. Now we got to be realistic. Competition is unreal in terms of the front three.
Absolutely,
it's not easy for Hudson-Odoi. Like, there's a good chance he won't even play. So in terms of a wing back, he's fast, he's dynamic, he's learned how to defend. That used to be a problem of his, which now he fully knows how to do, and I think Tuchel's got that drilled into his head. Yes, he would probably prefer not only to just play in the front three, but to play on the left-hand side. I think that is where he prefers. He wants to cut in and try and take men on. But overall, the one point that I know he has to improve on, and everyone knows he has to improve on, is his finishing, is his final product. If he had that in his locker, you can bet he'll be an option to be playing in that front three. But you just know that when he does play there, yes, he takes people on. Yes, he can dribble. But when it comes to making that decisive pass or taking a shot and working the keeper, there's work to be done there, and there's room for improvement. And I think that is the struggle that Tuchel has in his head. So I can understand why he plays as a wing-back and why he's being used in that position. But I haven't got anything against it. If Hudson-Odoi improves, absolutely, I want to see him in that front three.
My thing is with Callum is that I don't think there's going to be a lot of time before he says, right, there's a good chance I'm not going to play on the wings, on the left wing at Chelsea, or even on the right wing like we used to see him feature on. But obviously, his left side is better. I'm out. How would you feel about that? Because you see, my thing is he had so much promise, and I think he's a victim of circumstance at Chelsea, where we just have to sign world-class quality players in them positions, and if you're not stepping up, then unfortunately you will be replaced. It's the nature of the beast. But how would you feel about seeing them go if that was the case?
Yeah, that's the one thing, is that it's not necessarily been his fault entirely, but that it's the reality of playing at this level, man. It's, it happens for some, it doesn't happen for others. And I think in his case, he's been unlucky, especially with his injury. You got to take that into context.
Yeah, that's a very serious injury, the Achilles.
Yeah, and he came back from that, and he got over his mental block, because there was a point where he returned and you could see that he was hesitating. And that's normal for any sportsman. You're going to hesitate because you're scared that one, false gesture could get you injured again. So I get it. But he got over that, and fair play to him. Since that point, though, again, it's just been the case of, putting in, decent performance, good performance, but not a great performance. Not something that's going to make Tuchel go, wow, okay, this guy is going to be able to probably put a Pulisic or a Havertz or someone on the bench. It's not. He hasn't really got to that. So, I feel bad. But that is the standard, and that's what separates us from other clubs that are struggling at the moment. Because they ain't got standards.
Facts.
Our standards are high, and we're winning trophies. Simple as that. And we got players that are performing at a high level. So Chelsea aren't the ones that are going to miss out theoretically. It's just sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. But if he does leave, I'm sure Chelsea will try and put a buyback clause in.
Well, I can see
what we do.
I know full well that the Germans of one or two German teams are very interested in Hudson-Odoi.
Oh yeah.
The rumors of Bayern Munich just won't go away. I'd guess Dortmund are most probably looking at him as well with Bayern are. But I can see him doing wonders over there in that league. If he obviously played in his natural position and just because you're given more time on the ball over there in the Bundesliga. So for a player like Callum Hudson-Odoi, that works in his favor. Very good with the ball at his feet. You can't leave him to make a decision too long because he's just going to burn you and go past you. So I think he would do very well there. Now that brings me on to my next point. Obviously this might just be complete rubbish, but there was a few rumors talking about a certain Leroy Sané at Bayern Munich and Chelsea expressing an interest in him. Now, again, how true that is, I don't know if there's even 10% truth in that, but it's an interesting one for me anyway. Do you see any truth in that at all, Youn?
I'll be honest, no. I'll be honest. I don't think so.
Because I agree because my thing is that because I had a chat with a very good friend of mine, and he's like, look, I reckon it's true because Chelsea might end up saying Pulisic. And now that, obviously, all of that being conspiracy. But when you really think about it, unfortunate for Christian, he's had a lot of injuries. He has. We know he's on his day when he's fit and he has a run. He is unplayable, absolute done. Captain America for real. But that injury record, if it continues to go, you know the ruthlessness of Chelsea. But then the irony is that you're replacing one for another, because Leroy Sané is another player that's injured quite a lot. So I don't know. I guess you're right. I don't know. I just wanted to bring that up to see what your thoughts were about it. I personally love Leroy Sané, so just even like the whiff of Leroy Sané coming to Chelsea is like, okay, you know what I mean. But
he's a top player. He's a top player. Let's have it right. He's no mug, especially when he was here and what he's done in Germany, and fair play. But you know, again, that position at Chelsea is very congested.
Absolutely,
very congested, and it's just I don't see how he'll come to Chelsea, for example, and just risk sitting on the bench.
No, it's true, and me personally, I'm sure you feel the same, Younes. I'm absolutely delighted with the options that we've got. Absolutely, we don't need to bring anybody else in. What we've got going forward is brilliant, and the thing is as well, it's got age on its side. We've got years with that, and they can grow together. And the thought of it, the fact that they've just won a European trophy is scary. Some of these boys are 20, 21, 22, 23 years old. Do you know what I mean? They're not even at their peak yet. So imagine what they can do going forward. Exciting times ahead of Chelsea. But obviously, we've got to deal with what's in front of us first, which is Aston Villa. So I'm going to ask you before we wrap this up, Younes, what is your prediction for the score this weekend?
That's a good one because I haven't even thought about that. Let me
good.
And
that's
get
the best
my
one.
Gut feeling. I'm gonna go with, especially at home, I'll go Chelsea 2, Aston Villa. Do they score? Do they not? I'll go nil. I'll go nil.
There we go. I'm happy
Danny
with
Ings
that.
won't score. If Salah couldn't score, Danny Ings will score. Salah scored a pen. Just a pen. But
that's it. Yeah, that's it. And I said it on back again as well. Listen, business as usual. 2-0 clean sheet. Off to the next game. We're gonna listen, man. I'm looking at every single game. Now, call me arrogant, call me what you want, viewers in the comments. Say what you want. But I'm looking at every single team as 3 points. Every single one of you. I don't care if you're Liverpool, Man City, Man United. I'm looking at you with 3 points written, and we're taking them away from you. But
on that, we haven't been that confident in ages, isn't it? It's nice.
That's it. Yeah, it feels good.
Nice to have it back.
And do you know what? Do you know what's even sweeter? Just to throw the title of Champions of Europe for absolutely no reason at people. Like, do you know when it's like my last line of defense? I'm just like, well, we're Champions of Europe, and that just seems to settle every argument.
Hopefully, champions of England as well come May. So
listen, I'm fully behind that. I think we'll be able to do it. In Tuchel, we trust. In this Chelsea squad, we trust. We will win the title this year, lads. I know I'm sounding optimistic, but I've got every reason to be. So, yeah, on that note, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Younes's details, obviously, down there as well. If you haven't already, like I've already said to you twice, what rock are you living under? If you don't know Younes, follow this man. Great content. Make sure. All right, listen, before I muddle up my words even further, because, listen, this week has been hectic. It's been my daughter's birthday. I've been sick. I ain't rested properly. Let me just get the hell out of here. Younes, enjoy your day, mate. Thank you very much for joining us once again here at Man Knows Football. And hopefully we will get 3 points this weekend and we can come back and do a little more gloating. How does that sound?
Perfect.
Absolutely. A1. So to everybody that's been watching, thank you very much and take it easy.